While there may not be a lot of downtime at sea, sailors and marines make the most of their time off with swim calls. Welcome to another episode of High Technology, where we give you the best and cutting-edge contents on the highest form of technology available on the planet. If you are new to this channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell so you won't miss any incredible videos like this. In this video, let's jump off and dive in with sailors as we take a closer look of what pool parties are like in aircraft carriers. During swim calls, sailors are given permission to swim near the US vessel while onlookers keep an eye out for sharks. Swim call on a ship is when the ship stops in the open ocean and allows for a couple hours of swimming in the waters around the ship. It is a much-loved centuries-old naval tradition where the ship's engines are shut down so the crew can enjoy a swim in the ocean. The event mainly happens in locations where the weather is hot, but not all shipmates are that lucky, and some onboard submarines have had to swim in ice-cold water on some occasions. It harks back to the days when personal hygiene was a luxury on board a ship. Fresh water was a precious commodity and there were certainly no showers, so captains would drop their anchor in a calm sea and order all hands on board to jump ship and get clean. So prior to the availability of a continuous supply of fresh water, it was the only opportunity to bathe as well. If you ever thought swim calls are only for pleasures, believe me when I say that leadership can also be tested during this time. When swim call is passed on the 1MC or the ship's intercom system, the sailors and marines on the ship can relieve some of that stress by jumping into the ocean of a designated part of the ship and going for a swim. It's a great form of recreation that can energize a tired and weary crew. Are you taking care of your team, especially a high-performing team? Are you recognizing signs of fatigue in your crew and doing things that will give them the recognition and rest they need? And how about yourself personally? As a leader, especially during high-stress times, they can put the burdens of the world on their shoulders and keep that in. Swim calls are the best method to always have that relief, as leaders like any other person also need rest and leisure time. On a balmy day of June, more than 2,000 sailors of the carrier USS John C. Stennis leaped from its aircraft elevator into the warm waters of Western Pacific Ocean during a swim call. Navy personnel specialist William Harbin called it one of the best experiences of his life. Who else can say they swam next to an aircraft carrier with armed shark guards as their own private security? During a swim call, sharpshooters stand on the ship's deck or nearby in a rigid hull inflatable boat watching for sharks. Depending on its aircraft load, a carrier's flight deck may sit as high as 60 feet above the waterline. Its hangar bay elevators lower swimmers to 30 feet from the waves, the equivalent of an Olympic diving platform, so leaping sailors risk a broken bone if not using good form. The USS Eisenhower issued instructions to prevent injuries by asking that the crew practice to prevent injury from wrongful water entry. Sailors enter the water from aircraft elevator number 3 during a swim call aboard Nimitz-class aircraft carrier USS Carl Vinson or CVN-70. Carl Vinson and carrier Air Wing CVW-17 are conducting maritime security operations and close air support missions in the US 5th Fleet area of responsibility. If you still can't imagine how fun and exciting it looks, take it from an experience of a former Navy. In FTG-3 on the USS Zeller's DD-777 Sumner class in the Mediterranean in 1967, when the proper conditions were present, the captain, maybe egged on by the XO, would decide to have a swim call and notify all departments on the ship. On the Zellers, that meant going dead in the water and securing all overboard discharge on the side of the ship where they would be swimming. Now, we don't want to have the heads dumping poop into the water on the side people were swimming in, do we? The cook set up charcoal grills on the fantail to grill up some steaks. The torpedo man opened the locked torpedo storage and retrieved the cases of beer that were kept there and cooled them down. Heineken when the sailor was on board. The bosun mates would deploy cargo nets off the fantail so they would be able to climb back on the board of the ship from the water that was about 8 feet. The gunner's mates would put the motor whale boat into the water and man it with 2 M1 shooters in case of sharks. All crew not on watch or otherwise on duty could go swimming. It was kind of a blast to know you were swimming in hundreds, maybe thousands of feet of water. A word on the beer, US Navy ships are dry and do not allow alcohol consumption on board except in very specific circumstances. But if you were in the water, you were not on board a Navy vessel. While in the water, you were allowed 2 beers. Everyone tried to find a friend who would give them their alcohol allotment. You could try, but you will always end up unsuccessful. It is absolutely unbelievable how this impromptu party improved morale on a ship that had been at sea for some 30 days. It is a clear memory for the US Navy sailor for almost 50 years after it happened. Another experience would be coming from a sailor who had his best memory of swim call when his co-sailors were transiting through the Bermuda Triangle. The captain noted the warm seawater injection temperature and made the decision to surface. The sea was very calm and the sun was out. It was believed to be spring at that time. They were somewhere between Bermuda, the Carolinas, and the open Atlantic Ocean. They stayed surface for about 6 hours, having a barbecue and swimming in the sea. A shark watch was also stationed on the bridge for safety. As they lounged on topside, a school of dolphins approached the submarine. They were wild dolphins, quite curious about what they were doing. They began jumping out of the water, doing cartwheels and splashing back. A dolphin show just for them. But knowing the ocean to be a home for vast species, we could only expect that best seeing dolphins and the worst cases of shark attacks during these pool parties. I mean, it's all fun until something creeps on your feet underwater. The moment that military coast guards opened fire at a shark that swam into the waters where other crew members were swimming in the sea is captured in the video footage, filmed as the crew took part in the naval tradition at sea. American coast guards are seen swimming in the sea as part of the naval tradition of hands to bait, known in the US as swim call, before bullets are seen firing in the water in the Pacific Ocean as a shark circles shockingly close to the group swimming. The footage depicts a memory of the event that happened last 2020. Crew aboard the Coast Guard cutter Kimball can be seen shooting bullets to deter the shark that is just feet away from the group of about 40 members of crew who are treading water, while someone on the flight deck shout that it's heading for the bow. All the crew escaped safely from the encounter, which happened while Petty Officer First Class Samuel Kintron, a maritime enforcement specialist on board the Kimball, was on shark watch during swim call. Some of the crew were enjoying downtime as they swam in the water with a unicorn-shaped float when the officer spotted the shark about 30 feet away from the swimmers. The shark, thought to be bigger than 6 foot in length, did not attack the swimmers but swam close enough to cause concern. Despite being adored by the crew, swim call is one of the things that makes commanding officers the most anxious. This is a high-risk, irregularly executed task that is not trained for, whether it is performed by a carrier, a surface combatant, or a submarine. Even for experienced swimmers, swimming across an open ocean where the closest shore is kilometers away is challenging. Large swells and the strong current are common. People weary quickly. Exhaustion may make it impossible to do the ostensibly simple operation of returning to the ship. The likelihood that someone will be wounded entering or leaving the sea is increased by the swells against the hull. The swimmers won't be able to keep up for very long because of the ship's large sail area, which will cause it to drift away from them at a rather rapid rate. You must therefore have a method to prevent them from leaving the ship. The possibility of a shark attack exists constantly. It is negligible, but it's real. An injured or missing sailor, even if they are wearing rescue gear, it is nearly impossible to locate a swimmer in the water. In large swells, you seek a head above the water. As a result, they keep track of everyone who enters the water and their exit as well. Swim call is fun, but I can assure you that the captain is sweating bullets until swim call is over and he gets confirmation everyone is safely back aboard. So I'd say if you have the fear of the ocean, you could somehow watch them enjoy the vast sea or stay inside and do something else. Would you ever hop on a swim like these? That's it for today's video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this content, please don't forget to like and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can always get to watch more incredible videos like this. This has been High Technology, serving you the best and cutting edge contents on the highest form of technology available on the planet. Until then, see you!